Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is part 3, the last part of episode 1 of the Simone Biles Netflix documentary. If you haven't seen my 2 videos already, you can go see them on my channel. And just a reminder, I can't show the video. We don't have much clips because of copyright. So you're going to hear it in the background. I'm going to be splicing it up again because of copyright. So you're going to be watching this kind of with me, listening to it, and I will be giving my live reaction as watching it.
You just go into like a depression. It's like a post-Olympic depression. You feel so alone and you can't get out.
Actually, this might be part 3 and part 4. I might have to break this up into 2 parts again because I still have 25 minutes left.
That rut. It's like, okay, the Olympics is over. Simone, it's done, but deep down, like to me, it wasn't done.
It's easier to understand when a gymnast is injured with a broken leg. Yes, you have empathy because you can see the problem. For Simone, it was invisible, I think.
Helping so many people out. And then other times I talk about it, like I get choked up. Everything that has happened, I
think people I know she didn't compete in the rest of the team final or much of the individuals, but she still competed on beam. And didn't she get bronze on beam or silver on beam, something like that? She still medaled on beam. Like, she still got an Olympic medal. It's just that for Simone, people expected her to come out with 5 or 6 medals, and she came out with 1, and they're like, oh my god, Simone Biles only came out with 1 Olympic medal. What a freaking loser. Insert Cheetos into mouth now. Bro, she still got an Olympic medal even through the mental injury. Like, that's how good she is. And
my career's done, go fix it. And something like this happens, and unfortunately to me it happened at the Olympics. It's a trauma response.
The once trusted physician who preyed on young...
I'm so glad we're getting to this now. This is exactly what I was saying. Everything that came up was because it had been suppressed for so long, and it happened to finally come out. And of course it came out at the Olympics because that's just how irony works. And also because the Olympics is such a high pressure situation, of course that's when everything is going to uncrumble because that stuff comes out in very pressurized situations. So it's just like, I really hope people watch this documentary so they can get an understanding, because it's really easy for me to sit here and be like, why don't you understand? How can you not understand? But I have to understand that not everyone has lived this life that we have. Not everyone has been an elite gymnast, went to the Olympic Training Center, saw everything firsthand, has been abused. So there's a lot of things that I can relate to her on. I don't want to say at the same level as her, because she's definitely obviously went to a much higher level than I ever did with gymnastics, and she experienced a lot higher of abuse than I ever did. So I never want to try to compare my journey with hers because she had it way worse than me. But I can, based off of my own experience, find a lot of empathy for her and understanding. So that's what I have to remind myself is you cannot understand where you don't relate, or you don't compare. And, you know, I guess it's good for people that don't understand because they've never gone through it. I'm glad they've never gone through these situations. But I think that's where we as humans have to be better at, is we have to learn to put ourselves in other people's shoes and really empathize and understand what they may have experienced before we just blurt out things from our mouth. Like, try to understand, educate yourself, get a full picture, and then let your opinions happen. That I can respect more, and I think a lot of people can respect more. But that's what's just so frustrating to me, is I want people to really try to understand what she was going through from the beginning of her elite career until now, between a rising star, winning, being abused, winning, being abused, and then going to the Olympics, and then testifying, and then going to the Olympics, and then everything coming out there being, you know, made out to be such a bad athlete and a lazy athlete, and all of these things when she's having a mental injury, you know, then she dealt with that. So it's like I feel like she's never gotten a break, and people need to try to understand what she's gone through. That way they can, you know, stop feeling so angry Which, to me, you being angry with Simone or being bothered that she quit when she didn't even quit, she had to stop because of an injury, mental injury, get a life. You have nothing else to be upset about. I can name 10 things right now that you should probably be more upset about than Simone Biles getting 1 medal at the Olympics. You need to go touch some grass. We have a lot to talk about, and because if this is what's angering you and this is what you're upset about, I know a really good therapist.
In the USA Gymnastics program,
of everything that
They just showed Larry's face.
has happened, just being like a survivor and all of the other things.
The former Olympic doctor was sentenced to 40 to 175 years in prison. Nassar admits sexually abusing women and girls while working for Michigan State and USA Gymnastics.
The scars of this horrific abuse continue to live with all of us. As the lone competitor in the recent
Ugh. I don't want to watch this.
as a survivor of this horror, I can assure you that the impacts of
I don't know why I do my makeup and then watch these. What the heck? That makes no sense. Listening to their testimonies. Oh my god. Wow, this is like making me really upset. Why this is like so. I mean, I probably do know why this is so like hard to watch. I'm also about to start my period, so I think I just need a good cry. So like, I'm really like, this is really upsetting me. God, wow, I'm really surprised how much I'm crying right now. What the heck is wrong with me? Okay. We'll be good. Give me a second. Stop crying. Oh my god. I just remember like listening to all of the testimonies. This is my makeup rag. That's why it's disgusting. I remember just like walking around a hotel room. Was it my senior year when all of the testimonies were coming out about Larry? All I remember is we were at a competition in an away meet, and we had to walk around the hotel room, or like the hotel, to get, just like stay warm and get our muscles moving because we had, nighttime meets. And so we were walking around, and this was going on, the testimonies with Larry. And I just remember we were all listening to it on the phone, like the live testimonies. And I think that was the first time in my life that I was like, I really grasped that maybe what had happened when I was younger was, bad. Or I just felt like I understood where they were, and based off of my own experience. Again, nothing as bad as what these girls went through, but I had my own personal experience with an old coach, and I remember just walking around the hotel, and I was just like everybody's talking about it, blah, 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 and I just felt so like, I was just like lost for words because it just was so real, and I was like, I guess part of me too was like, finally, this is coming to light. Like, there's a lot of stuff that has never come to light in this sport in terms of abuse. And I think with Larry specifically, I had known how bad of a person he was for so long because he had abused an old friend of mine in like the early 2000s. And by the time, I found out about this was the third person in my career that I knew to be a predator and to get to do inappropriate things to girls in this sport. I had 2 coaches before I ever heard about this with Larry. 2 coaches get arrested. One that I actually had my own experience testifying against. And then I heard about Larry from my friend. And I was like, to me, I just thought it was a part of the sport. So when all of this came out about Larry, I was like, I just kind of felt like this, like, finally type of reaction. I was just like, finally he got caught and he's going to get in trouble. So it reminds me just like walking around and listening to this and just feeling so empty. And then when I watched this part of when they testified against or testified to, this is the Senate, right? Is this when they did that? Whoever they were in front of, like government, and just like listening to their testimonies. you know, I can hear, you can just, like, hear it in her voice, just, like, just how, like, broken or sad or hard this whole, like, situation was. You can just hear it in her voice how sad she is. It's really sad to hear again. I should have known they were going to play something like this. I just didn't prepare for it, honestly. And I feel bad even crying. I feel like I'm being dramatic or... But it just, like, makes me... I just, like, feel for them.
This man's abuse are not ever over or forgotten. Sorry. I didn't get the proper care before because I just thought I was okay. But your mind and your body is the first one to say, actually, no. You just never know how you'll react when you start actually talking about that stuff and trying to start the healing process.
Exactly.
And I knew it would be a long journey. Whenever I talk to my therapist, she's like, if it didn't happen then, it would definitely happen later on in your life, and you can only shove stuff down for so long. Some big world global meltdown another time. But it opened up a conversation to a lot of the world, and a lot of people got the chance to be heard and be seen. And to get
I gotta fix
help,
myself. Good lord, Bray, you're so annoying.
Thank God for that vault.
Poor honey. Is she naked?
After Tokyo,
I couldn't see the shirt. I thought she was naked.
1 ounce of belief in myself. You just don't
so
know
cute.
if you can do it again. I was like, is this really how, like, my career ends? That's tragic.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I cried a lot more outside of the gym than in the gym because I didn't want the girls to see how much I was struggling. Was a saying that I loved, obviously, my Angelo. And I was like, and still I rise is perfect because I feel like that's kind of the epitome of my career and my life story.
So true.
Because I've always rise to the occasion. And even after all of the traumas and the downfalls, I've always...
I think people forget, too, Simone, she doesn't talk about this as much, so maybe it doesn't affect her as much as we may think, or maybe she's just come to peace with it, so she doesn't like to talk about it. But I think people forget that Simone's, or they just don't know, that Simone's childhood wasn't easy either. You know, she got put in foster care. Her mother was a drug addict, I believe, and, you know, that in itself, that's a tough thing to go through as a child. And then, you know, she gets adopted, and her grandparents, now her parents, are wonderful and beautiful and God-sent people, and, you know, she starts her gymnastics career and the rest is history, and that's what we're watching and experiencing now. So it's like, that is really a beautiful quote for her, and Still I Rise, because that, like, literally has been her whole life, like, even through foster care and having, you know, been taken away and then her whole life uprooted and changed, she still went on to do amazing things. And then through the amazing things and the abuse, still she went on to be successful at the Olympics. And then still after testifying, she still went on to another Olympics, and she still did well. She still medaled twice, you know, the team medal and her individual medal. And then after that, she made it through all the criticism, and still she rose from that. And it's just like, still, even from the criticism, she persevered, and now she's at this Olympics, and now she's in Paris, and she's still, out of all of that ugly, is being who she is, and it's just, like, so beautiful.
It's risen. Come on.
Oh, doggy.
Square one.
She has her own parking spot. I mean, obviously, why shouldn't she? But I love it.
In the hills, it's building just to see what she could and could not do.
Jocelyn!
She wasn't doing, like, too much. She was just kind of getting in the gym, basically staying in shape, honestly, conditioning.
I think she had so much fun that it was good.
Still getting lost a lot. Like, a couple days I'd be okay, and then I'd be lost for a couple days. And I'd be okay for another day. then I'd be lost again.
Ugh, I hate the foam pit.
She will come just once every 3 months, jump on the tramp, and see. She can do a foot in, she can do this, she can do that. And then she will do this for a year and a half.
But then we would not see her for a couple weeks, and then she would come back and play again, and not see her for a couple days, come back.
I was in and out of the gym for about a year and a half till 2023. That's when I took it serious.
Does she have socks on doing bars? I'm impressed.
Obviously, the
Slippery.
girls watching me, and they used to be watching like this confident, giggly Simone, and I'm over there crying because I'm scared to go because I know I'm about to get lost, and I don't want to get lost because it's not a good feeling.
She doubts just as much as any other gymnast.
No, already, but...
Honestly, it really helps everyone to know that
Laurent said, no.
someone gets nervous.
I always am like, I don't think you guys understand like how much you've helped me this year.
Yeah. It's late.
So I get emotional because it's like I feel like I'm a big baby, but I don't think they realize how much they've helped me.
Snap earlier. Oh, yes, like that.
I wanted to quit like 500,000 times, and I would have if it weren't for them.
Just proving to how important it is to have a team. I think, especially at that level, and that was something that I struggled with when I was an elite. I was the only elite in my gym, and it's a very lonely thing to just be the only thing and only person in anything, but especially that high and difficult of a level. So I think I respect a lot of gymnasts who, when there's like only 1 or 2 elites at their gym and they choose to switch gyms to go to in a program that has a bigger elite system, because for me, again, having gone through it, I can sympathize and understand a little bit is they need that. They need a village. They need that camaraderie, and they need that team that is going through what they're going through. And I think that just proves the point. I mean, Simone even just admitted, had she not had that camaraderie, she would have quit, and we probably wouldn't even see her right now. So I want to encourage any athlete, if you have to leave a club gym because it's the best thing for you, then do it. Leave on good terms, be respectful, and be professional about it. But it's the same to me, the same concept as if somebody gets a higher salary offer from this job to another. Anybody that actually cares about that person would encourage them to take the higher salary, because with the higher salary, you are, there's their comfort there. So if you're able to find a gym that's going to better suit you, especially when it comes to the elite level and you being elite and you being able to be around other elites, I would always encourage that, because that's a lonely road. And look, this is not me saying leave your gym just because you don't like it and you're not happy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you are at a place and then you see that there's a better opportunity for you and you might think that it could help you, for me, I'm always like, I'd rather try it and fail than not have tried it at all, because if you don't go and try, I mean, the answer is already going to be no, so you might as well just go and try. So what I'm saying is a lot of athletes get discouraged to leave because sometimes their coaches discourage them from leaving because they want to maintain them, and I get that. I really do. But again, I'm on the side of what's the best thing for the athlete, and I just did this on a podcast. For me, if I have to understand that sometimes maybe I'm not the best thing for that athlete. Maybe I can't offer them what they need, and I have to be okay with that, because I care about the athlete more than I care about my ego. And so that's what I'm encouraging. I'm encouraging you to always assess the situation that you're in and to talk to your coaches and see getting the best outcome. And if you have to switch gyms because there might be a better program for you that's going to suit you, being in a, the morning program or an elite program with more elites, and you really want that and that's what you want to choose, you're allowed to do that. Like I said, leave on good terms, make sure it's good and professional. Don't just dip out and do it in a unprofessional or lack of integrity type of way. But if you think it's what's best for you, you're allowed to make that hard choice. That's all. Okay, guys, that's the end of part 3. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry that I got a lot of it emotional during that. But this is a really, deep and important topic, and I can't thank Simone enough for opening up about it. So that's the end of this episode. Be sure to check out part 4 when it comes out, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.